Hi all, welcome to the next session, and in this session we will see what is the difference between simple project and Maven project. Okay, so basically when you are creating project with Eclipse IDE, you can create two type of project over there for automation. Okay, one is the simple project and second is the Maven project. So let's see what is the difference between these two type of project and which one is preferable for our comfort. Okay, so when you move towards the simple project, you are not adding any kind of dependencies with the help of pom.xml. Okay, so let me just show you. So when you are using a simple project, you are not adding any kind of dependencies through pom.xml. On the other hand, when you use Maven project, you have to add the dependencies through pom.xml. Okay, in simple project, pom.xml file is not present. On the other hand, in Maven project, pom.xml file is present. So the third thing is that we need to add external jars manually into your project in simple project. On the other hand, we are adding external jars into the project automatically with the help of pom.xml. So the entire game is around this pom.xml file. What is this pom.xml? It is project object model file. It is actually a XML file and it is available in Maven project only. So in simple project we don't have this project object model file, and in Maven project we have this. Okay, so basically what is the difference between these two, and what is the advantage of Maven project over the simple project? So let's give you the practical example, and in that way you will understand this in better manner. So moving on to our next slide, we will see what is the use of Maven project and why we basically prefer Maven project over this simple project. Okay, so let's move on to our next slide. So suppose consider that there are 4 members in your team. One is Kunal, second is Amit, third is Saurabh, and fourth one is Shubham. Kunal is in Canada, Amit is in India, Saurabh is in Italy, and Shubham is in Pune. Okay, so all these members of the team are working in distributed environment, and which is possibly a very ideal example in case of distributed environment of the company. Okay, so these 4 members were selected to work on one project, that is this one. It is an automation project with, let's say, Selenium WebDriver or Cucumber or Protractor. You can consider any of these. Okay, when these all 4 members are working on this project, they would be requiring something in order to make them in sync. Okay, so what happens? The project is defined, right? Project is available, and if you create any simple project, then there will be clashes in the dependencies of the project. Okay, because what happens when it is not only that you are just writing a code, it is like you are integrating it with Git and then with the Jenkins. Whenever the Jenkins pipeline is built, it is executed automatically, right? But what happens sometimes if Kunal is using some another version of jar into his machine, let's say he is working with Selenium jar, that is 2.53. Okay, let me just write it down. He is using Selenium jar of 2.53. Similarly, Amit is using the same jar, that is 2.53. But in case of normal project, suppose if Saurabh is using the jar of 3.14 and Shubham is also using the jar of 3.14. So what will happen? These two people will have the same kind of jar on their machine, and these two people have different kind of jar, different version of jar on their machine, right? So where the conflict comes, whenever you work on some project, you need to push your code, right? You need to check in your code, and then it will be checked in into the Git, and then it will be integrated with Jenkins. But what happens? The Selenium guys has depreciated this jar. Suppose, okay, if they depreciate this jar and this jar is working, right? So these people will have a different version of jar on their system, and it is depreciated. So all the methods which were created with the help of this version of jar, that is 2.53, will not work. Suppose they have depreciated the complete jar of 2.53 and they have introduced a new jar after that, and they have removed this one. So what will happen? Some features may not work on Kunal's machine and Amit's machine, right? But some feature may work. So that in that case, there will be conflict in your project, and some scripts will fail and some scripts will pass. So in order to make them sync, we are using Maven project, so that we are defining a pom.xml in our project. Let's say this is the pom.xml. Let's say this is pom.xml file. This pom.xml file will have the version of jars which is to be used for this project. Okay, this pom.xml will make sure that each and every member which are using this project have the same version of jar, so that there is no conflict in the jars and the scripts will not fail. So this is the main role of Maven. Okay, this is because of Maven our project is in sync and everybody on the project is on same page and are using the same kind of method. So what happens? Let's suppose everybody is using 3.14. So all the methods which are defined by the Kunal can be executed by Saurabh also, and all the methods are available to Saurabh also and Shubham also. Even it will be checked in into the git, and then there will be a merge with the master branch, and all the code of each and every machine will be synced once they have a latest code on their machine. Okay, so this is the work of the pom.xml. How it will go? Suppose I have defined the pom.xml and I have mentioned the version of jar which is to be used by entire team. Okay, I will check in the code into git here. So from git, what will happen? Each and every member at the first time will pull the code. Okay, they will download the code in a simple manner. I'm just saying they will download the code on their local machine, and after that they will be working on the scripts or the features which they will be developing. Okay, so all of these team members have worked on the feature and now it's time to push their code. So what will happen? They have worked on the feature and now they are pushing back the code. So he will just push this code from his machine to git again. Okay, Amit will also push the code into git again, back to git. And Saurabh will also push his code back to git. And Shubham will also push his code. Okay, back to git, right? So POC is just a project which will be ultimately pushed into the git. Okay, and the code will be available in git only. So after they have completed their work, they will push their code into git repository. Okay, so in this manner all of the system will have the same version of jars on their machine, and they will not face any kind of issue if any of the feature which is implemented by some other team member is executed by them or is used by them. Okay, so the methods which were created by Kunal can be used by Saurabh or even Shubham and Amit. So each and every system will have same kind of dependency and same folder structure and project structure. So this is the beauty of Maven, and this solves the biggest problem of version control system regarding jars. So same version of jars will be available on each and every machine of the team. Okay, so this is the importance of Maven in project, and we will be using Maven project only in order to create our Cucumber framework. Okay, so that's it guys for this session, and in next session we will see how we can create the simple project and how we can create Maven project. Okay, thanks guys, thanks for joining.